Jerome Mayhew.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Whilst there are plenty of measures to help with the cost of living, which I do welcome in this budget, the real impact of the budget is much more profound than that. It seeks to tackle some of the structural weaknesses in the economy that have bedevilled it for decades, and they've been holding back growth. And in the accompanying economic and fiscal outlook from the OBR on page 7, they set out a number of what those factors are. Business investment being reduced, reduced labour market participation, and the conundrum of low productivity. And it's through that prism that we should be addressing this budget. Now, I don't have time to look at all of them, so I'm just going to focus on business investment. Now, budgets don't come in isolation. They're part of a raft of sensible economic management by the government. And if you look at the reasons behind the lack of business investment, according to the OBR, one was the pandemic, very obvious, so we hope we've put that behind us. The second was the energy crisis, well, we're dealing with that, and there are continuing measures for high energy use businesses. And the third one is uncertainty over EU relations. And that is an area that the government has been addressing week in, week out. Whether it's the Windsor Framework, the very positive French summit that we had a couple of weeks ago, the restarting of talks on being involved in Horizon, increased cooperation with the French over stopping small boats and migrant detention centres on the mainland of France. Each one of these is serving slowly to increase business confidence on the future of UK trade, even as global exports expand, both with the Australia Free Trade Agreement and the New Zealand Free Trade Agreement, and I hope very soon the CPTPP. And whilst I accept and regret that corporation tax is going up for the biggest 10% of corporations to 25%, this is more than offset by the 100% capital allowances, full expensing within the first 12 months. Because what that does is it changes the incentive. It provides an incentive for businesses to invest over the payment of dividends. And there were also a host of other tech sector improvements that set out in page 95 of the budget, whether it's the innovation accelerators in Glasgow, Manchester and the West Midlands, the £900 million for the exascale supercomputer to assist with AI research, the £2.5 billion for the quantum strategy, the implementation in full of the Patrick Vallance digital tech regulations to improve the speed at which that sector can develop, the faster approval processes for new medicines. This is the government being on the side of fast growth of the new economy. And it's not just tackling business investment. There's also labour market participation too, dealing with the unexpected reduction of the workforce by some 520,000 post-pandemic. And I don't have time to deal with that, but what I can say is that the budget builds what I think is increasingly on my doorsteps being described to me by my constituents as the Sunak effect. It's not flashy, there are no eye-catching initiatives so beloved of the Labour Party, but instead what you're getting is competent, serious, tackling the big issues one after another. There's no surprise that the economics of this country are improving, as shown in the PMI for February 2023, the composite index of 53.1, with over 50 being economic growth. This budget was detailed, it was considered, it was responsible, and it speaks to what is behind this government, which is it's not flashy, it lets the work do the talking.
Alex Abel.